Well, hello and welcome back. And yes, we finally managed to figure out how to, after a long time of figuring out, wait, word of advice, do not read the Hewlett Packard service guide because it'll just confuse you. So the wording in there, I think that was page 100 and, no, I'm sorry, that was page, I think that was between 50 and 60. The wording was so idiotic to the point on there. That's They said even though that you got to take the keyboard out, but you got to disassemble or take all the rest of the screws out to go along with it. And I'm thinking, oh, what sense does that make? There's a lot of stuff I disassembled on here. So word of advice: don't. Shame on HP for not writing their instructions a little more deep or a little easier to understand. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna remove the two memory modules. And they're even Samsung. Wow. So yeah, those are gonna get recycled, and we will open up our new modules here. So this is what we'll be using for for today's video. And no, they didn't sponsor me. Like I had to pay an arm and like $41 a stick. So I always want to inspect it to make sure there's no flaws or. The only thing I destroyed in the process of removing this computer was I broke the leads off of the CMOS battery pack, so I may not be able to completely put this back together. We'll wait and see. So we're going to go ahead and install. The thing that the Hewlett Packard recommends doing is when you're putting the memory modules in, put them at an angle, make sure that everything lines up, and do not touch the gold contacts. Because what will happen is when you get that grease on there or dirt or film or something, it will sort of short circuit the computer and just it'll stop running. So never touch the gold contacts. That's my word of advice. Not only did I make a fool out of myself in school doing that, but never do that. And you always want to make sure that you got them properly seated, because you don't want, if you don't seat them correctly, that could destroy the computer as well. And you don't want them down. That's about $80 worth of memory sitting right here. And once I get paid again in August, I will I'll buy another set of. But the second memory upgrade should be a lot easier because the third and fourth slot of memory will be on the bottom, and that'll be a piece of cake. And yes, we will make a video about that. So I highly recommend this memory. It has never failed me yet. So this is a DDR3 8 gig memory. So we're going from 8 to 16 gigs in the system. So that should be an improvement from what I kind of found that 8 gigs was kind of lagging a bit. So you always want to make sure you got that properly seated. And now the fun and exciting part of figuring out my mess here and putting this dang old computer back together. Well, damn it. Maybe that comes up like that, so. Because if you don't put the power connector back in right, you're not going to have any power. And honestly, if you have a computer like this, don't do anything with it or any major repairs on the inside unless you necessarily have to. So hopefully this will be the last time I ever have to replace the memory modules. But it was an exciting challenge trying to figure this thing out. So I think since that happened, we're gonna do our best to try to fix that and get that back together. So this is the keyboard that we removed. And we'll put that back in there. So now I gotta figure out how those tabs go back in. But like I said, I don't do scripted videos, and this is unscripted. I didn't. If it was scripted, everything would go perfect. So let's carefully. And now, so I also have to put. So first, we're gonna reseat this power cable here. So I gotta look at it here how that goes. Oh, I see. That goes. And it's always important to make sure that you got every ribbon cable properly seated. And let's go ahead. Should probably grab the smaller one. Oh, dadgummit. It doesn't quite go in there the way it's supposed to. Yeah, it's in there now. Alright, I finally got that one. So now we can move on with getting the keyboard seated. Properly. Fan is clean, so we don't need to worry about cleaning that out. So let's go ahead and reassemble. This is the most tricky part. Putting, it's easy taking them out, but it's difficult putting the crap back in. Yeah. Come on. Now, if I was actually filming this and editing on YouTube, I would cut this part out because this is not all that exciting. That's just me. All right. Nope. Nope. I didn't quite get that yet. Hallelujah. I finally got it. Always double check to make sure everything is placed properly. So when you push the tabs down, make sure everything is back the way it's supposed to. And now for the fun and excruciatingly freaking exciting part of it. And the connector. Well, I think we'll start by putting some screws back inside the machine. I'm going to start off in this corner, in this area first. I cannot find the appropriate screwdriver that went with this bit. It'll show up after I'm done with half of these projects. So alright, so we're going to carefully put this back together. So, bitch. Yeah, usually I don't use language like that, but when you're doing things out of, you're not getting a lot of results. It'd be nice if you could play background music on YouTube, but since the YouTube Mafia doesn't like that, and that they would terminate you permanently, you can't really have. Because usually when I'm off camera and I'm working here, I usually got music going. This is a very unorthodox way of putting things back together. I'm just making do with what I have for now until I find half of the stuff I'm looking for. A lot of times I come here and stuff isn't always the way I leave it. So there's nothing I can do about that. Just a little bit. I'm not going to put the CD drive completely in yet, but we will run it through there just to make sure that that screw doesn't hang up on it. Alright, we're satisfied with that. And it looks like it's getting ready to rain again. I feel like the fifth wave of rain that we had for today. Oh well. We've managed to get the yard cut, so we get the neighbor's yard. Or help the neighbor also. Since this is my computer and I have no intention of ever selling it, if I got a few blemishes on here, it's not the end of the world. I should have just been more prepared for doing it, but then again, usually I'm never prepared for much of anything. Usually I fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to getting stuff done. I never really have a master plan. I just kind of, as it comes, I just kind of figure it out on the fly. Never used to be like that, but life gets in the way and you just kind of, you don't have time to logically think these things out. Next time I go to Lowe's, I might even break down and buy myself another set of precision screwdrivers. This is a backup. Never hurts to have a bunch of that stuff lying around, because you never know what area of the office you're going to be working in. So we'll verify that. Let's say we'll slide over. And yes. Last but not least, one more. Alright, we're going to get this finished up. That's exciting. Finally, a priest from Vienna, Austria will be coming up to White Law to do Latin Masses for 3 weeks. So that'll be exciting. So anybody that's in the Latin Masses, if you're in the area or surrounding area, St. Michael's and Whitehall will be doing Latin services. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new filter for the air conditioner because it smells kind of ripe. like most. So good enough. That is as good as we're gonna get. So now we'll put. It'd be nice if all these computer manufacturers just stuck with Phillips screws instead. So now I get to put that metal bezel back on. So what's really nice about this feature is it's not the strongest metal, but it kind of protects it from getting all beat up, from lugging it around and slamming it around. And theoretically, with these computers, you shouldn't do that with any computer, but sometimes it happens, and it's nice that Hewlett Packard went the extra mile to put that feature on. But when I was trying to figure this thing out off camera, I had such hate speech for the engineering of this computer and why it is why it was. But I learned, don't read the instructions. Stick with your first instinct and do what you would with any other laptop that you're gonna change a replacement RAM. Sometimes when they write this stuff, it's confusing. So let's get rid of that pop up here. All right. So what I'm trying to do is open this. Actually, I think we can even do that with it closed. Because all this does is you just slide this. This just covers up the hinge. And voila. Now we just got to put the screws back in its place. All right, yes. Smaller. It doesn't help when you got thick fingers. One recommendation is when you're taking bezels off in that, like this in particular, start at the end, put the two end screws in place, and then the rest of it will be easy. That's what I hate about not having the right tools. If you don't have the right tools at your disposal, that's when you start running into crap like this. Oh, this one's the right one. It's too big of a diameter. Hopefully that one will fit the bill. I'll try it real quick, but I don't think it's gonna fit. It's just way too dang big. Too big. Found one that was just perfect. Good size. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, that's nice and tight. So we're gonna also tighten the keyboard down. There. Well, we don't have to worry about that. Now just for the freaking fun part of getting the connector. And we'll take our very long needle nose pliers. I may even be able to shove those wires back in there, but actually knowing what I know now, I should have took the wireless Octane and the wireless Centrino Advanced adapter out first. Alright. So we're going to come back to that. They're figuring this piece of crap with this crap. Actually, I don't think it's really damaged that badly. I may be able to reuse it after all. And yes, we will splurge for Octane storage on here. This is going to be the most souped up. The only thing I'm disappointed is that doesn't have like a gig graphics card or 2 gig or 4 gig. Why wouldn't the place that bought this spend the few extra bucks for that? I would have. What's a few bucks more? Because you kind of limit the capacity of the computer when you don't give it get all the full order with all the stuff needed. But then again, I can't really complain for the price that I paid for it. So Okay, let's see here. Good enough. As long as you can get the battery in, that's all that matters. Alright. So I got that portion back in. I'll put this here for now. Now I gotta figure out how to get these freaking. Alright, maybe I'm gonna be ordering myself a new CMOS battery. Unless. Yeah. Second thought, I'm gonna take this out real quick. We're gonna do things a little. Not the best screwdriver in the world, but when it wears out, I'll buy another one. Alright, we're having a little bit of a challenge here. That's because I got too many tools here. Okay, so this way. Alright, I think we finally got that. Now we'll put the octane, well, not the octane, but the Intel. Most laptops I worked on, these things were not labeled. But this is actually the first one I've ever come across that had sticky labels on it telling you which one was what. So you always want to make sure you got the appropriate, or seated appropriately, because otherwise it will not work. Make sure it's nice and snug. And last but not least, that screw. That one in there. That back in the right place. Never hurts to double check to make sure everything's seated correctly. So now we can finally, we'll put the hard drive in last. So we can finish putting the rest of the screws back inside the machine. I figured over the larger diameter. Alright, we'll come back to that one. Yeah, that one can't be that terribly important. Let's take a look here. Alright, I don't know what that originally was. Okay, that's done. That was not the screw that was supposed to go in there, but oh well. Okay, we got the screws back in. Put the hard drive back in. That's not good. That really could have that could damage the drive. There. Now we will put the shield battery. Put this cover back on. Those are the fronts. And then this goes back in. Other way. Now you know. Oh, this is the battery that goes back inside. And now a moment of truth. I figured because the CMOS battery is dead, or I ruined it. Okay, I guess we got so far so good. Cross your fingers that this fixes it. I'd be really disappointed if it didn't work. I always thought that Samsung had a good reputation for, but then again, not everything's perfect either. Sometimes that may have just been a bad pair to begin with, waiting for. Oh, what's it doing? Well, on day now. The only thing that was annoying was the previous owner of it took all the stickers, the Core i7 sticker and the Core i and the Windows 7 sticker off. So I was a little annoyed by the fact of that happening. Actually, wait, it's got no. So this is actually Windows 7 era laptop with a 4th gen Core i7. So it is a little suffering from hysteria a little bit, but it's not too far behind the time. Nothing that. Just to verify that it was working. We'll do a product review of this computer eventually. But actually, I'm kind of glad that I did the memory upgrade. Because now I can do more stuff on here without it slowing down. So we have 16 gigs of RAM successfully. And yes, Windows is not activated, but I'm not the one that made it that way. The previous person that had it, that was their fault for not properly putting the license key in. So that works well. Job well done. I didn't think, other than the fact that the CMOS battery is effed up, but it works. We increased the power of the computer to 16 gigs from 8. And next month, if all the money and financing goes well, we'll buy another set of 16 gigs. And we'll put this thing at 32 gigs. And then October, we'll buy an Octane memory module. We'll soup this thing up. So everything was pretty much working as it should be. So I'm excited because I can actually get my 3 monitor setup going again. So thank you for watching. I hope this didn't bore you. It's been a pleasure learning about this computer in the process of fixing it. So thank you again. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Enjoy the rainy day that we're currently experiencing. And we will be making a stream. We're doing a stream tomorrow on the Asus laptop of doing Windows 10. Because like I said earlier today, I made my Rufus Windows 10 ISO bootable flash drive today. That only took maybe 2 hours though. That wasn't even the loading of the ISO off of the network. That part took about 4 hours to get it off of the storage device, so not very good. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.